Hello, this is Daniel Vayon with the Daniel Vayon Gazette Pod. I really think that I should just talk about the Intercontinental Title Matches at SummerSlam chronologically. And in doing that, I believe I can find a way to write about it. Alright, I thought I had published this last night on YouTube. But, okay, I don't know why, but I couldn't upload the MP4 video file from my latest edition of the Daniel Vayon Gazette Pod. Okay. So I have to look for it again, and this makes me excited, gets me happy to continue doing this. Fortunately for me, I still had on the copy and pasted part of on the desktop. I still had the description, so I was able to repaste it. So when it's finished uploading, I can just add it. Okay. I did, however, or I thought I had found a way to submit that episode on the Daniel Vayon Gazette Pod on Launchpad 1, but I don't think anybody downloaded it. Oh, good. It was downloaded. Good. Okay, it was just now, so I've got some good news, though. On the Launchpad 1, I have 7 downloads to my already uploaded episodes so far. I'm sure a lot of y'all would be asking yourself, why do you do a video when you do a when you do audio? And the reason I do a video is because I want people to see my face as I'm talking, so that they can understand the emotion behind it. They can see I'm not just saying this is how I really feel. By the way, I uploaded my first practice promo on my YouTube channel. So if you go to the Daniel Vayon Gazette Pod on YouTube, you see the videos that don't have, you see the one video that has 2 minutes on it. That's my practice promo. That I wanted to share that on Facebook and Twitter if I could, as a bonus episode, because I think that's important to do, or bonus video. So what I'll do is I'll just go back to Peacock TV. www.peacocktv.com. Press enter. After 1988 SummerSlam, I think in 89, I think Ultimate Warrior was already the world champion. So it'd be interesting to see how SummerSlam after that happened, or who was champion going into SummerSlam. Okay, so by the time SummerSlam 1989 came around, they already had I'm trying to think about this. They already did the heel switch with Randy Savage. They already had Savage and Hogan go against each other at the next WrestleMania in '89. It was also the year I was born, so it'd be 36 years ago this year that this SummerSlam happened, and that Macho Man and Hogan went against each other at WrestleMania. So what happened that was the most significant to me personally from this is that when they split Hogan and Savage up, and they kept Miss Elizabeth with Hogan because she was the babyface since it was Hogan, she went to Vince and asked Vince in real life to put Sensational Sherry with Randy because she knew how good Randy and Sherry could be together. And the reason that's significant is because I'd always wondered why that happened. And as I'm thinking about it, it was all spontaneous. Macho Man being I think he honestly didn't trust anybody, including Hogan. So as a result of that, in the middle of one scene, they got in a big argument when the cameras weren't rolling. So the cameras came back. He blew up, and so the entire angle was based out of real life misunderstanding, and it just worked for the angle they were shooting, so they kept it. So SummerSlam 1989 was primarily didn't have an Intercontinental title match in it. So I was really surprised about that because I remember watching it and it was fun to watch it. I could have sworn, though, it's supposed to be a title match, not a I could have sworn there was an Intercontinental Title match in 1989. Regardless of that, though, the Ultimate Warrior and Rick Rude were in the main event, from what I'm understanding. Let's see. This was a title match. I was right about that. Just be honest, though. Having watched some videos about the Ultimate Warrior, his promo work. Actually, I didn't really get a chance to see a lot of his promo work, but when I got a DVD about the Ultimate Warrior, the second DVD they made about him, when he made everything right with Vince and the company, and he was inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame. Well, what I thought was interesting was how you would have Ric Flair or Ted DiBiase or somebody like that would say how they just did not understand the Ultimate Warrior's promos, and as over the top and as flamboyant as Ric Flair was, it was easier to understand what he was saying because it was reality based. What Ultimate Warrior was doing sounded so, and by his own admission, it was all from his imagination. None of it was based out of reality. So I think that's why a lot of them looked at each other like, "What's he talking about?" But by this time, things were getting to be so over the top in itself that what he was doing had worked, because for a lot of fans, they thought that could be worse than what we've already seen. So I think they liked it because he was unique and he was he did speak differently than everybody else. And I heard Stone Cold Steve Austin say this, that he may be one of the only people that actually thought that Ultimate Warrior's promos were good enough to help him understand where he was coming from. I really didn't think much of it as a kid, but as an adult, when I started to really look at it and study it myself, because I always wanted to be in it. But as an adult, what I had discovered about not just Ultimate Warrior, but any kind of promo is it's got to be from your heart. The best promos, just like the best matches, the ones that people speak from their heart, like the famous Die Rocky Die promo from Dwayne Johnson when he was Rocky Maivia. And what that prelude is to is for me to say this. I know I already I know how important promo work is, especially in trying to create um in order to create how I think I would want to talk as a future manager. So I know how important it is when you're looking at these old videos. They were perhaps the most important aspect of the entire um I guess you could say the entire stage. They were the most important part of the stage was the promo work. But as I've gotten to know about, how wrestling has evolved over time, could that honestly say that if even though I want to hear what Ultimate Warrior says, it'd be very hard for me to follow what he would say. Like when he spoke about facing Hulk Hogan for the World Wrestling Federation heavyweight title, and he said he spoke about Hulk Hogan taking his airplane and taking a nosedive, and he said you'll soon be close to parts unknown. And it's not that it's not that telling him to take his airplane, but the fact that saying he even had an airplane was odd to me because at the time nobody had their own airplane. At the time, nobody had their own airplane, even in real life. And they were just starting to get buses at the time, I believe. So it's another reason why that sounded so odd to me. But it just shows why it's hard for me to follow a promo, even though it's not. There's nothing wrong with following his promos to study them to have an idea of how to act. It would be hard to follow it and talk about it because I probably wouldn't know what to say. But in any event, I'll still find it, and I'll do my best to do my best to see can see if I can. I'm trying to think. How do you say this the right way? Try to see if I can decipher what he means. A lot of times a lot of times the I'm not sure what to call it. Algorithm maybe, I'm not sure, of the videos when you try to do closed captioning doesn't match the actual words. So that's why I had to take it off and put it on the audio. See what he actually said. worsen. The conditions he has been in, he said, has already been worsened. He spoke about breaking out of the straitjackets. Don't know if you can hear that or not. Let's see. He said all around the arms, scars from this weak planet. He said. Said he broke loose some of those straitjackets. He said all the arms around this weak planet. He said, and they're gonna enjoy it. He said that either Rick Rude and Bobby Heenan will realize he is the eighth wonder of the world, as he and everybody else will eat him alive. He spoke about surrendering, and people say this a lot today. I don't know why people say this, but they say if you believe in God, then there we know that there is only one God. But people say gods, and I just now realizing that when people say that, even though I don't particularly believe that myself, but when people say that, it's their way of acknowledging everybody's belief at once. To be honest, this was what I always tried to tell my mom, and I've discovered I was right. The Ultimate Warrior's promos usually he sounded like he was mumbling, like he had marbles in his mouth. That was one of the biggest problems that I would have with it is that you could not hear what he would say. But this is interesting because this could be the first time in over a year that the Ultimate Warrior is going to go into this match as um, as the challenger instead of the champion. But that I still think so far that versus the British Bulldog in Wembley Stadium was the first really great Intercontinental title match at SummerSlam in SummerSlam history. It's to try to think how I can write because I don't want to go over. I don't. I'm supposed to put a sample article about 250 words, I believe. So I have to think. What do I really? What do I really want to put into my writing that's really important here? How can I do it without putting too much information, but not putting enough? information. Hmm. Hmm. Um, I'm gonna pause this because I may have made a mistake. So we see what happens. This was very unusual. They didn't hand the title to the referee before Ultimate Warrior came down, and that's usually the first thing you do when it's a title match. To give you some context to the story, it was way back in um, WrestleMania 6 when Ultimate Warrior lost the Intercontinental title to Ravishing Rick Rude. So they had been feuding since that time. So that's why this was such an important match. It wasn't just for the Intercontinental title; it was for Ultimate Warrior to not only regain the championship, but was an opportunity for him to right the wrong of losing the title in the first place. Because they did the let's become the oldest trick in the book today in wrestling. When you stand close to the rope and there's a man on the outside of the ring, or you're in a tag team match and their partners on the outside of the ring close to where the apron is so they can trip you. First time that happened that I know of in history, at least when it comes to pay-per-views, was when Bobby Heenan tripped Ultimate Warrior and held his feet down while Rick Rude fell on top of him and covered him at WrestleMania in 1989. And I believe that's WrestleMania 5. So, yeah, I believe that would be either 4 or 5, but I do remember it was at WrestleMania and they carried it all the way here, and then they even carried it the next year at SummerSlam too. But what was smart about them and their booking was they stretched it out. So that's why I like that aspect of their booking of the Ultimate Warrior versus Rick Rude. Let's see. Now he was really red hot right here. They show the poster of the Ultimate Warrior's name and face on it from one of the fans in the audience. Now, the Ultimate Warrior's color of his paint is interesting right here: yellow, green, and pink. Hmm. And it just so happens to fit his colors that he was wearing: yellow tassels with pink and green, I believe, tassels, yellow, green, and pink wristbands, green tights, um, yellow knee pads with his pink picture that they used to use because he painted his face up. So his what they used to market his character the most was his face was his paint look. So that cover, so his picture on the front part of his knee pads was pink also. So everything in his attire matched his paint. Okay, kick from Rick Rude in the midsection doesn't phase Ultimate Warrior, makes him matter. Can He does that. A couple of a right hand, a left hand, two right hands, three right hands. Irish whip, reversal by Ultimate Warrior, duck by Rick Rude, close, duck by Ultimate Warrior, and then a clothesline. Sends him over the top rope onto the apron, counters that with a shoulder block and a sunset flip. Right hand by Warrior, perfectly connected to Rude. Rude's forehead, he picks him up, gorilla press slam, the center of the ring, which is smart. But then he throws him over the top rope onto the mat. I believe, to use a cliche, I believe that's what we call showing off. Put his forehead into the mat of the apron, mat part of the apron of the SummerSlam logo. That's what I wanted to say earlier. Picks up the title. He actually threw it over the back of the shoulders with that. Now, the reason I'm surprised the referee didn't call for the bell is because in today's day and age, that would be an automatic disqualification. That's a vertical suplex outside. Diving fist to recruit outside. Throws him over the top rope. Picks him up for a scoop slam outside. Gets it on the mats. Let's see. Throws him back in the ring. Goes in there. Let's see. Administering the 10 count for Warrior to get back in there. Warrior's about to jump off the top rope. Let's see. X handle. Gets him. Cover. 2. Kick out. Irish whip. Perfectly executed by Ultimate Warrior. Sends Rude into the other corner. Right hand by Warrior. See. Irish whip. Ooh, into the corner. See what he does here. Scoop slam. See. Cover. 2. Kick out. Or shoulder up by Recruit. Vertical suplex inside the ring by Warrior to Rude. 1. 2. Kick out by Ravishing Recruit. See, he's picking him up. Looks like he's going for an inverted atomic drop. That's exactly what he's doing. Ooh. After he did that, he picked him up. He threw him down on the mat in a seated position. Ooh. That's not funny, but Ultimate Warrior mocking him with his famous gyration was funny because it shows how ridiculous it is. Stemmy gets hit by Rude, so he can drop down on the ropes. He has to flip himself back onto the mat, into the ring. No, he's really look like he's in pain now. See, look at this. Did the elbow into the look like where your part of the back where your kidneys go. See, vertical suplex right there. Cover, hex the leg, 2, kick out by the Ultimate Warrior. Let's see. See. Go for that elbow strike again. He gets it. Double reverse chin lock, I believe is what I heard them call it the other day. Ooh. Jumps down a couple of times, 3 times. No matter what he does, he's not kidding. He's not keeping Warrior down. Except maybe that forearm covers him for a 2 count. The Ultimate Warrior kicks out of that too. Let's see. Kick into the midsection. Goes for the Rude Awakening here. But Warrior's breaking out of it with his hands. Turn around, ducks that right hand. So Rude does the desperate jump up to do a sleeper hold on the Ultimate Warrior. You know this is nothing but desperation. See what he does next. Okay, it's down to a knee. Gets up though to his feet. Down, straight down with a jawbreaker. Side headlock into the ropes, thrown off by Rude. Runs over his back and runs into Rude by mistake. Knocks out Joey Morello, the referee. Now he can just go on to Rude to wake him up. And to see if he's up. So he opened his eye to see if he was conscious, and he was. Rude is up first to his feet. The most important thing here is the person in charge of the match. Both his right and his left hand together hitting Ultimate Warrior's not helping him. The right hand by itself is not helping him either. Ooh, double thrust of his own. Karate chop like. Right hand. Irish whip. Back body drop. By Warrior. Let's see. Clothesline. 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 Let's see. Irish whip. Power slam. Okay. 1, 2, 3. He's counting himself. See what he does here. He's going for a pile driver. He gets it. Fortunately, that's the classic pile driver, so it's not easy to do, but it looks like a foot on the rope. It's not the easiest maneuver you can use, but it's not as dangerous as the one that is dangerous as when Stone Cold was hit with it back in about 1996 or 97 by Owen Hart. So that kind of pile drivers, you can see one hand why people used to ban it, but you can also see why it's not as bad as the one that Undertaker uses. And this one, the traditional and the tombstone pile driver, two of the best, because when you look at it, you can see how protected the neck is. Okay. Warriors to his feet, breaking up. He's making sure Rude gets to his feet by grabbing him by his hair. Puts him on his shoulder. Looks like he's going for a running power slam here. Gets it. Let's see. Gets to his feet. Runs across the ring. Went for that splash, but he hits Rude's knees instead. Okay. This is the first match I'm talking about, and this took me about 20 minutes to find it. So it might take me 20 minutes to find another one to talk about it. Let's see. I'm not sure what was going for here. Ooh. Cover. Two. Kick out by Ultimate Warrior. That almost looked like it looked like he was going for variation of a power driver. It almost looked like a poorly executed power bomb. One, two, kick out. See what he does next. There's Rude's in control right here. Gives the forearm across the face of Warrior. Let's see what Rude does here. He's going to the top rope, it looks like. The bottom to the middle to the top. Ooh. Whatever that was must look like he was going for like a fist drop or something. Nonchalant cover two, kick out. Right, Piper's out here. See, pile driver of his own. One, two, kick out. Their shoulder up by the Ultimate Warrior. Let's see. Yes, Piper, what he's doing there. Piper looks like Piper just mooned him with his kilt. He gets picked up like a German suplex like for the top rope by Ultimate Warrior. Runs back and forth. Shoulder block. Let's see. Pick him up. That gorilla press slam. Delaying it. Let's see. Run. It's over him. Splash. Coming up. Cover 2, 3. Wins the match. Let's see. Okay. That was a good match, but it wasn't. It's a good match. It wasn't something I did of great. So let's see what the next one has. Hmm. Okay, this is 1990. Okay, Mr. Perfect versus who was the Intercontinental Champion, by the way, versus modern day warrior Kerry Von Erich for the title, defending it against Kerry Von Erich, modern day warrior. And that was actually earlier in the event than it was the year before, so this must have been a really important match.
Daniel, come let the dogs in. I can't open the door.
Okay. All right. Glad I'm doing this. Let's see. Texas Tornado. Okay. He was called the Texas Tornado here, Kerry Von Erich. He said right here how powerful and how strong Texas tornadoes are, or tornadoes themselves. And then he even managed to talk about, before he said that, he said how there was weather reports of tornadoes coming around where they were at. So he said by the end of this Texas tornado, meaning himself, we'll be heading up the ramp with the champ intercontinental championship belt. Now the promo itself makes this much better match than the one previous, but I just want to see how they do in the ring. That's what I focus on when I write. By the way, this Texas tornado is from the Dallas area. He's in here. Okay. See, the referee's telling him he needs to take off his robe. Every match should have a story to it because it says that's what wrestling is, it's storytelling. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to start off in writing. The reason the first match came to my mind was Bret Hart versus Davey Boy Smith because of all the intercontinental title matches they had that I thought had the best story going into the match. But before I forget, let me talk about this. I believe it was actually the Texas Tornado that Mr. Perfect beat to become the Intercontinental Champion in the first place. So this was an even more important match than before, if I'm not mistaken about that. Now I don't think he was champion or anything, but I think it was a tournament match to crown any champion. So I think that's what this whole story is about. So Mr. Perfect Kurt Hennig beat the Texas Tornado, I believe, to win the Intercontinental title, or at least somebody from Texas. Let's see. Lock up. Let's see. Gets pushed into the corner by Texas Tornado. Goes out to the ring. Talk to Bobby the Weasel Rainey and okay. Goes up back up on the apron to get back in the ring. Lock up. Let's see. Reverse arm drag by Mr. Perfect. He was wearing trying to remember how you describe this color. I've only seen Alex Wright wear colors like this in his tights, so I don't know what it's called. But I know that when people are in DOT, okay, um, I think that's what we call fluorescent green, and it's mixed with bright blue on the back part of the tights. Lock up. Let's see. Just throw him almost like hip toss like to the mat, down to the mat. Goes to talk to Bobby, and Bobby wipes him with his towel. Lock up. Ooh, chop by Perfect. Irish whip, reversal. Hip toss by the Texas Tornado. Then a scoop slam. Clotheslines. Perfect over the top rope. Hmm. Okay, he gets back in the ring. Let's see. For a second there, it looked like Carrie or the Texas Tornado was getting distracted by Bobby. He looks back at Mr. Perfect. Lock up with Mr. Perfect. Goes for a wrist lock on Perfect. Right hand to the rotator cuff. Wrist lock again. Let's see. Right hand. Let's see. Wrist lock. Ooh. Time he gets hit with like a clothesline by Mr. Perfect, knocks him down. Kicks him in the shoulder, I believe, with a rotator cuff. Right hand to the face a couple of times. Woo, a chop. Let's see. Snap mare. Next snap. Right hand in the corner to the face of Carrie. First whip. The sleeper hold. Let's see. Hmm. Let's see. Still up on. They're both on their feet. Ordinarily, I thought sleeper hold would make you go down to your feet, but it's not doing anything to get Carrie to go down to his feet. So he put the Texas Tornado in the corner. Kurt, I think he's hitting him with right hands. At first, I thought it was a slap. That that fourth time was a slap, I believe. Then another slap. Mm-hmm. Another slap. Let's see. It was a right hand. Turn his back on him, though. That was a mistake. Double leg takedown. Catapult. Ooh. He hits the top of the turnbuckle itself. Goes for the iron claw. Taught him by his father, Fritz. Did that discus right hand. 2, 3. Wow. Won the title. It was a really good match. By the way, in real life, he was a discus. He was a discus champion in his high school. Hmm. Be interesting to see what match SummerSlam 91 had, or what Intercontinental title match SummerSlam 91 had. Okay, I must have forgotten about Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect. So glad I looked this up because I just realized they have to go. They have to go before Bret Hart versus David Boy Smith. To be fair about this. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Yes, I do. I do think this is actually a much better story and match than it was when Bret Hart went against his brother-in-law at SummerSlam in the UK. I don't know why Bret Hart didn't do any interviews for this that I know of. But it's interesting that Kurt Hennig said all that was needed to be said. Like I've like I would say or will say when I write about it. One of two elements in wrestling is to see which one is the better man in the ring. And another element is who can set up the match with just their talking. That's exactly what Kurt Hennig did. He spoke about how excellent Brett was in the ring, but he was not, quote, perfect. And in real life, I did hear one of the production men say that Kurt Hennig was good at playing sports, but he was perfect in the ring. And that was the irony of it because that was just a character, but that's the name Mr. Perfect was just his character, but that's what he did perfectly. Everything in it in the ring was perfect. And of course, you have to really know what it means to wrestle in the predetermined part to know what perfect is. Bret Hart was great at telling a story in the ring, but his promos, I think the reason he and Jim Neidhart needed Jimmy Hart to be their manager was because it was really hard for them. Actually, it was really hard for Bret Hart himself to cut a great promo. By his own admission, he said he wasn't great at cutting a promo. This just shows how hard it really can be. Let's see. 507, 515 is the next time available to schedule my video episode from last night on YouTube. Be set up as a premiere. Okay. Just share it on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Okay. Okay, Brett's parents were in the audience cheering him on. Stu and Helen Hart. Right. So, of course, if you have Bret Hart's DVD or Mr. Perfect's DVD, you can look at this um, without having to pay a subscription to see the pay per view. I'm glad I get to do this on my podcast because it's fun. What's interesting here was that as Bret Hart is putting sunglasses over that little boy's over his eyes, what's interesting is he, instead of having Bobby Heenan with him, Mr. Perfect that is, this time he had a man dressed up as a coach with a whistle and everything. It's interesting because to my knowledge, Mr. Perfect was still supposed to be a heel right here. Okay, lock up by the two. Neither one of them is getting an advantage yet. Lock up, side headlock by Bret Hart. Let's see. Kurt's even going for a handful of hair to throw him off. Shoulder block knocks down Kurt Hennig. Bret runs over his back. Counters that hip toss with a hip toss of his own. Rolls out of the ring, does Hennig. Let's see. Lock up. Let's see. Side headlock. Irish whip. Ducks counters that clothesliner with a crucifix pin for a 2 count. Side headlock takedown to a most like a rear chin lock. Referee Earl Hebner's telling Mr. Perfect to let go of Bret's hair. He does it again though. Okay, third time, the time he gets into the ropes, throw him off. Hold on to Kurt's hair though. Pull him down. He's Kurt pulled his hair again. The more he does that, the more Bret's gonna hold on to his hair to keep the side headlock going. Into the ropes. He hits Bret Hart in his midsection with his knee. Okay, Irish whip, duck by Brett. Crossbody press takes him down to kick out. Rolls out the ring, gets up to the apron. I think he just hit Kurt in the midsection with his elbow. Sunset flip, pin, kick out by Kurt. Runs into a side headlock takedown by Brett. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I realize now. I just realized the reason he out instead of he think he officially retired as a manager and he became a commentator by this time. So that's why it was different. Let's see. It's the ropes. Gets out of that headlock by Brett and he gives him a cheap shot chop like that. Across the chest. Let's see. Irish whip. Kick, but Brett catches the foot of Kurt. Taunts him a little bit. He trips him with his foot. See, looks like he's gonna go for either a sharpshooter or hit him in between the legs or close to the abdomen. Yeah, it was the abdomen, all right. Right hand into the corner. Irish whip, reversal by Mr. Perfect. Picks up. Bret Hart hits him with hold on. Hmm. He bends down and he gets kicked by Bret after he hit Bret with a scoop slam. Then Bret hits him with a scoop slam. And he gets kicked by Kurt. Let's see. Then he gets tripped by Bret. He clotheslines Kurt over the top rope, does Bret. The referee's telling him to back up, give him time to get in the ring. Bret Hart goes out after him and he's walking like, oh, I think he just, I'm not sure what he did. The strap fell off. I don't think it tore, but he did pull him by his strap and it fell down. So now, again, between the ropes, does Kurt. Referee's telling Bret to back up. Stu really looks concerned, almost like surprised by the way Bret's acting here. Um, Lock up by the two in the corner. The referee's got to separate them. Cheap shot, right hand by Kurt. Knocks down Kurt. Knocks down Bret. Lies that he tells the referee he pushed him. Kick it to the side of the ribs. Ooh. Kicks him in the ribs again, and he rolls out to the ring. Fortunately, the coach is fussing at Brett instead of doing anything else. As long as they don't get physical, they can fuss all they want. He goes out there, picks up Brett, and he helps Brett stand up, chops him down, falls down over on top of his stomach. So he steps over onto Brett's back to get back up in there. Yeah, looked like he tore Mr. Perfect's suit right there. His spandex. Okay, he's back up on the apron, trying to get back in there. Let's see. Right hand by Kurt knocks Brett off the apron again. Even pushes Bret Hart off the apron. Okay, chop, no, slap right, and three right hands by Bret. Irish whip, reversal, O'Connor roll, two. Kick out by Kurt. Looked like a slap by Kurt. Referee's administering the 10 count, as I like to say. That looked like a kick to the forehead of Bret. Ooh, forehead into the turnbuckle pad. And he hits Bret with the chop to the, call it a knife edge chop to the chest. Let's see. Irish whip. Ooh. Looks like two, kick out. Let's see. Next snap. Ooh. One, two, kick out. I believe we call this a jackknife cover, which is a double leg takedown, and you jump over into a pin attempt. I believe that's what you call a jackknife cover. That gave Kurt Hennig the 2 count, almost kept the title right there. Irish whip reversal, comes back with a kick. This Kurt. Bret turns around not to fall. Drop kick knocks Bret down. He rolls out of the ring. Falls down. He rolls out of the ring. Excuse me. Okay. Goes to the other side of the ring as he walks around it. Kurt goes outside after him with the right hand, the right hand in the gut by Brett, the right hand in the face. Let's see. Ooh, right hand in the left ribs of Brett by Kurt. Let's see. Looks like Kurt wants to do something from the top rope. Brett's going up there to stop him. Even climbs the ropes to make sure he stops him. Looks like a right hand. Right hand. Ooh. Falls between the ropes. He manages to get out just to fall in the ring. Kurt jumps down. Cover two. Kick out by Brett. Kurt's so frustrated he pushes the referee. Referee pushes him back, warning him that if he touches him again, he'll disqualify him, which would actually benefit Kurt. So I'm sure he was hoping, in his character at least, for him to disqualify him. Gets him in the corner again. He slaps Brett a couple of times. Throws Brett across the ring and right in the other corner by his hair. Let's see. Irish whip. Going for, looks like a sleeper hold on Brett. He's got him down to two knees. And he's sitting down. Okay. Kurt putting his knee, at least one knee down. Pick up one arm. Arm one's. No. Okay. He's staying alive with his arm up in the air. Moving around, getting to his feet. One. Elbow. Two. Three. Run. Catches him. This time, Kurt just counters by slamming him. One. Two. Kick out. Right shoulder up. Only one time have I ever seen somebody pin like that and win a match. Because at such a nonchalant cover, it's very easy to kick out of it. Just lay down like that and both arms across your opponent. Only one time did I see somebody win like that, and that was Shawn Michaels back in, I believe, early 2004, I believe. The reason I believe it was early 2004 was because it's what led to he and Triple H going against each other at WrestleMania 20. Okay, pushes Brett into the corner, chop, knife edge chop, as they call it. The other one. Okay, let's see. Okay, Irish whip. Ooh, falls into the turnbuckle, falls down. Cover hook select by Kurt. Kick out before three. Stays in this match. Let's see. See, it looks like he's gonna go for like a perfect plex here. Perfect plex. One, two, kick out. Right shoulder up by Brett. Mm-hmm. You don't realize how much time they edit from shows like Confidential till you watch this full length. Must have edited about 10-15 minutes out of this match when they aired this on Confidential when I was a teenager. Inverted atomic drop by Bret Hart to Kurt. He does that right hand attempt from Kurt. He does the other atomic drop. Head a bit. Okay. Bret Hart to Mr. Perfect. He throws him around with his hair like Kurt did earlier to him. Kurt, the coach, is encouraging Kurt to stay in it. See. Vertical suplex. Cover. 2. Kick out. Get a left shoulder up. Back. Kurt Hennig. Let's see. See. Inside cradle. 1, 2. Kick out. Side Russian leg sweep by Bret Hart. Okay. Cover. 2. Kick out. Backbreaker. Jumps to the top rope. Jumps from the middle rope to do the diving forearm. 1, 2, kick out. What's good about that is all Kurt really has to do is just move his feet and that'll break the count. O'Connor roll. 1, 2, kick out. Ooh, rolls out of the ring. Goes out there after him. Red hits him with the right hand. Or whip. Ooh. Hits the corner post and he flips. Flips himself onto the other side of the ring. Let's see. Throws Kurt in there. In the ring. Kicks him. Ooh. Flips himself. Let's see. Kick again. Ooh. About the worst. It's about the worst two landings that I saw Kurt Hennig ever do when he would get kicked that he would flip himself in the ring to sell the hits. 2 of the worst flips I've seen him take. Most hurt his neck. Ooh. So yeah, must have got himself disqualified there, but picking up Bret's legs and kicking him in between the legs. He did that leg drop. I'm surprised that didn't get him disqualified. This time catches him. He sets him up with a sharpshooter right there. Hey, right away he gives up. The referee calls for the bell and it's over. Okay. Thank you. Hope you all enjoyed that. When I upload this. Thank you and goodbye.